beautiful and gorgeous and amazing ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me on a new video. Today we are going to continue our Q&A from the questions that you guys submitted on Instagram. So make sure to follow on Instagram, on everywhere. I'm like literally everywhere. But thank you all so much for submitting the questions, and we're gonna jump right into it. Question number 1, where should I start if I'm curious about tapping into spirituality? Place where I feel is the most beneficial to begin would be with meditation, because in the journey of meditation, that is where you discover your true essence. You can read about it in books, you can take a lot of classes, a lot of lessons, and talk to a lot of different people. But one thing is acquiring information, and another thing is having an actual spiritual experience for yourself. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through the power of meditation. Because in meditation, what is happening is that as you are in the moment and you are focusing on concentrating on your breath or your mantra, you start to transcend your thinking mind. So a lot of us, if we don't practice meditation, a lot of us attach our existence to our brain, and we feel like whatever is happening in our brain is a reality. And of course it feels that way, but through meditation, you learn that you are the observer of your mind. You are the one witnessing your thinking mind. I feel like that's so powerful, because that's when you start to realize that you are not your mind, you are not your body, you are not the role that you play in this world, that you are a spirit. There's something behind that is watching everything happen and unfold. And without meditation, what happens is that we get so involved and attached to the stories that we play in our mind, to every single thought that we're having, to every single experience that we are having, that we feel like that is our reality and that's who we are, that we are limited humans living in in this 3D world, and it feels very restricted and limited. And through meditation, you're able to expand your mind, your consciousness, your level of awareness. All of that happens naturally as you progress and as you stay consistent with your meditation practice. And then of course, there's so many books, there's so many spiritual teachers, there's so many things, but honestly, the only person that can give you that true spiritual experience is yourself. No one else can give you that experience. And for me personally, aside from meditation, I really love worshiping, God. For my family and I, we have been looking for a church, looking for spiritual centers where we can go and worship. Yes, we worship here at home, but I feel like just having a community of people that you gather together, you sing to God, you shed tears, you're just like there fully involved in the presence of God, And for me, I like to call this omnipresence God. But of course, a lot of people call it the universe or the spirit or the creator, but it's more so about, yes, just take some time to go within, to stay committed and stay consistent to your meditation practice, because that's where you're going to discover all of the truths that have been hidden within you, and you're going to start to just blossom like a beautiful lotus flower. How do you handle difficult situations like illness, financial problems, etc.? The way that I've been able to handle that is 2 things: God and meditation. I know I keep going back to these 2 things because they have really transformed my life. I feel like meditation is my pathway to God, is my pathway to experiencing God. Not just reading about God, not just thinking about God intellectually, but for me, the Lord is my anchor and is the anchor of my family, because we have gone through challenges. And the most beautiful blessing that meditation has given me is not only my communion with God, a direct source to this higher power, but also the ability to remain calm and at peace regardless of financial setbacks, of failures, And even with acknowledging that there is child trafficking happening in this world, and that is a darkness that is just so disturbing that I need an anchor. I need an anchor. My family and I, that's why we've been really looking for a church, and we found a church, and we also found a spiritual center, and we make a commitment to worship the Lord, to make God the presence of everything that we do, from the moment that we wake up to every decision that we make to how we interact with each other here at home. When you go into meditation and you really go into a deep meditative state, you're able to go into the stillness and this calmness and this peace. Paramahansa Yogananda said, and I texted this to my friend Candace just because it resonated with me so much when I was reading the SRF lessons. He said, peace is the first proof of God's presence within you. Peace is the first proof of God's presence within you. Do you feel peaceful? When I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and I start to have anxious thoughts, I'm like, God is not anxious. God is not fearful. Why am I afraid? If I'm afraid, I'm not leaning into God. If I'm anxious, I'm not leaning into God, because God is peace. God is love. And my anxieties disappear. Any fear that I had disappears. Sometimes the pressures of everyday life can make you feel very overwhelmed, and I just lean into that. And that has been my foundation and my anchor, and that is how I know that God is in our lives, in my life, because I feel peace. And my husband even told me the other day, I'm like, because I'm doing a project that is it's a huge project, and it's requiring a lot of brain power. And I've been so calm about everything. Going out in public, going to public events, taking phone calls, like everything that used to make me feel like, it's so like peaceful. I just do one thing at a time, and I enjoy the process. And like I said, my husband the other day said, you're so calm, like I feel like when I used to feel so much pressure on myself leading up to like a big event or a big project that I had to do, I was always on edge and always kind of like just upset because I was like so anxious about what was going to happen. And when I started this deepening of my journey and really committing to meditating twice a day for 20 minutes in the morning and before bed, this inner peace that you go into, you bring a little bit out every single time. So that's how you start to know if meditation is actually working for you, because you'll start to bring the peace into your life, and your life is going to start to change. Your relationships are going to start to change. Everything changes. I did get several questions also asking, how do I revamp my wardrobe? I have so much clothing, but they don't go together. And then someone else also asked me, how do I start dressing my age? Where do you look for style inspiration? I am 35. So I feel like when we are growing and evolving, which is something that we always do, one of the last things that we tend to let go of is our clothing. And I feel like that's a really good place to begin to have so much fun with representing who you are now as a person. And what do you want to show to the world? Like, who is this version? How does she look like? How does she dress? How does she carry herself? Like, what is her style now? What is she into? One of my favorite places to begin to just kind of gather some inspiration is definitely Pinterest. I created a folder called Classy Dulce because that was the vibe that I was going for. I was like, you know what? I really want to have things in my closet that I can wear every single day but still look sophisticated, polished, grown, sexy, you know what I mean? Like, that was the vibe that I was going for. I also had a closet full of super trendy items, and when everything is so trendy, then for your everyday life, you can't really put things together so easily without thinking so much about putting a whole look together, For me, fashion is definitely a lot of fun, so I love to have, super trendy items in there, especially accessories and bags and all that stuff. But I also wanted to have more muted and more sophisticated looks that I can wear to drop my kid off at school, to pick him up, to run errands, and still look polished and sophisticated and like I got my life together. So I created a folder on Pinterest, and what you want to do is just kind of start looking for style inspiration and looking for outfits that really represent who you are now, or outfits that you want to be wearing, and create a folder, save everything, and then just start to do a little bit of research and start to look, for example, if someone is wearing a blue button-down striped blouse, then go online and look for that item. If she's wearing the white shorts, look for the white shorts so you can start to have them in your closet. Really focus on fit and focus on quality. That way you can start to build a wardrobe that you can actually wear and look your best, And that is it, my beautiful ladies. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know I only answered a few questions, but the good thing is that I have some more questions for another video. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about whatever I said in today's video down in the comments section. Like always, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, share it with someone, like it. That is a really great way to show some love and support to this community, and if you are enjoying the content. So thank you all so much. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.